Welcome, Internet Land. This is Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, bringing you another Transformers third-party review. This review is brought to you by titanonetoys. titanonetoys is a good place to go for buying stuff. Go ahead and check him up on Facebook and eBay. Just drop him a line, ask him what he's got, ask him what he can get for you. The figure that we're reviewing today is the... I just had a momentary brain fart. It's the Badcube Steamroll. Steamroller. Which is their take on a Masterpiece style Sideswipe. And this figure is fantastic. I mean, I'm just going to come right out and say it. Spoiler alert, by the way, for anybody who was really looking forward to this, but Badcube's done it again. They've made a figure that just looks good, feels good, plays good, transforms good. I tell people that, oh, so and so is a good figure, but it's not a perfect figure. This may be a perfect figure, in that looking at this, I can't really think of any real way that they could have made it better. It's very, very good, and nothing is sticking out to me as a glaring, oversight or whatnot. Because I mean, a lot of figures have minor oversights that are just there because, oh well, we could have put more engineering into this, but it would have cost more time and cost more money and cost more, etc., etc., etc. So they don't. But this figure is fantastic. I love it. I love it a lot. It's got a real good... I mean, so Takara, when they first came out with Masterpieces, they were all like super technical, and I happen to really like that as well. I picked up an MP1 and I picked up an MP3, and thankfully I missed out on the MP5. They had a lot of really good figures, and they really looked great. And then they're like, oh, hey, now we're going to come out with an MP10. And it's going to be a little more animation and less, looking like it came out of a, technical drawing. And that was good. And then they started doing the cards. It's just, in recent years, they have come to this more... the robot mode looking more stylized, more anime-esque, more simplistic, while retaining the fidelity of the vehicle mode. And this fits with that way better than the Takara one, and I've got that for comparison. And I know I don't always do comparisons in my reviews, but I'm definitely doing them here. You can see, whoa! You can see that the legs are a lot slimmer. The chest is slimmer. Like, this is a really wide chest, which, I mean, I get why they had to do it that way, but they didn't. And that's cool. Just really, really nice. I think that maybe if there was one thing that I would adjust about this figure is maybe put something in the feet to give it a bit more weight. I think having heavier feet will probably make it stand a little bit better. Though that being said, it's not any heavier than... It's not really any lighter than the official Takara Masterpiece. So, of course the Takara Masterpiece has got feet that big, and this guy's got feet that big, so that'll probably have something to do with it. But I mean, if you use the... if you manipulate his feet in such a way that you are using these spoilers as kind of like a heel spur, I mean, that makes his feet pretty big too. So, anyhow, I think it's fantastic. I think it's beautiful. I think it's elegant, and it's amazing. And I'm going to stop gushing about this. I'm pretty sure I'm about ready to start, sliding off my seat, as one person commented on a video recently. So, anyhow... accessories. Let's get into accessories a little bit. He comes with a pile of accessories. And let's go through them really quick. Most of these are alternate hands So to make the hands work, what you want to do, we're going to take his gun out. The gun, by the way, it just has got the Masterpiece style peg. We're going to open up his little door here. We're going to rotate his hand, make sure his palm is open, and we're going to put that in. His palm is just going to fit right over that transformation hinge, and it'll fit in there just fine. If you don't open up the hand, it won't fold over all the way, no matter how you have his wrist rotated. It'll leave this peg coming out at an angle. So, got to open that hand. And so he comes with a set of Piledrivers like this. These screwdriver ones. And all of these, by the way, work exactly the same. They just stick on. He comes with a set of these ones. Jackhammers. What's the difference between a piledriver and a jackhammer? That sounds like the start of a joke, actually. He comes with a set of these black ones, which have a different little slot in them. But they're like symmetric around all axes, so, or at least one axis, so I don't know why that's all about. And he comes with a set of drills. And he's got two each of each of these, but I didn't show them both. They're identical. He also comes with an alternate face. Now, I know some people don't really like his face sculpt, but I think it's okay. Especially if you compare it to the official one. I think it's okay. The paint job is really good. This one's really metallic, which makes his face look a little more chunkier and a bit harder to see in detail, actually. Whereas this one's more of a pearly silver, and I think it works really well. I know some people don't like it, but I think it works great. We're just going to take this and pull this face straight off. If his face wants to pull straight off, maybe I'll just use one of these to wedge that in. Yeah. What is the deal today? Jeez. I haven't actually swapped out this face, so I wasn't prepared for this. Oh God, I wasn't prepared for this. I'm wiggling it. That works. It's not working. It's alright. I'll just use a different tool. Got a pencil on me. That should be able to wedge into there a little bit easier. So that face is a lot tighter than I thought it would be, but it's just a simple peg system. So that one will peg back in. I'm not 100% certain if this is, whoa, focus. I'm not 100% certain if this is more of a yelling face or an oh shit face. I'm leaning towards oh shit. But yeah, so I'm probably not going to change that back because it seemed to have taken longer than I thought it would be to change back. I'm going to pull his hands back out, though. Another good comparison, by the way, while I've got him here, because this Sideswipe has the older, more technical look to him. And this Sideswipe is a newer, more anime look. See how he compares with Sunstreaker, who is also in a really nice, like, anime style. Like, I mean, I think that this is really all the comparison you need. I could probably just end the review right here. I think that these two look much better together than these two. It's my opinion. I'm going to stand by it, though. Alright, so down to articulation. His head is on a hinge. He'll look up and down that far and turn all the way about as much as you need him to. There is a little bit of conflict with this strut back here, but it's not a big problem. It turns just fine. And there's no paint on either of those surfaces, so you're not going to scuff anything up. His shoulders are on a ratchet that goes around like so, and we'll move out to the full tree pose and then some. Upper bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, but with a pretty good degree of bend. He's got your basic wrist swivel here. All 4 fingers are on one hinge, so there's no crooked finger pointing here. He does have a waist swivel with, you know, that much range there. His legs will go forward that much, go backwards that much. He does have, oh, I thought he was going to have the absolute full Van Damme, but it looks like he's only about 90%, maybe 95%, I don't know. Knee joint here with 91 degrees of rotation. Oh, and by the way, it'll rotate a little bit forward too. Some people have also commented that this is something that they think is really weird, that his knees will bend forward a bit. And it's true that they will. Just because they can, though, doesn't mean that they have to. This knee joint is tight enough that it doesn't, you know, cause any kind of a stability issue. And I think that it probably would have made his transformation a little more difficult if they put in like an angle on that to make it not bend forward. By the way, he does have an upper thigh joint. His foot has got that much ankle tilt and a little bit of forwards and backs. And so, yeah, there he is, all posable and whatnot. I like it. I think it looks great. I think it poses pretty great. He does feel just a little bit wobbly. And I think that pretty much has to do with, you know, if you get his feet fully solid to the ground, like, you know, squared up properly, he wobbles like almost nothing at all. So it's just that his feet are, because of the way the joints are, it's not like a ball joint. It takes a little bit more effort to get everything squared up properly. But once you do, it's worth it. So let me get all of his accessories out of the way. And let's get down to transformation. So, I'm not taking the shoulder cannon off because that's actually part of the transformation. That's one of the things about this that's really fun. What we're going to do is we're going to start with the shoulders here. We're going to take this panel here and pull it forward. That'll disconnect this panel here, which we can pull out. You can see that this is on a slider. It'll slide over and this panel will close up. We're going to extend up this and open that. We're going to turn the wrist 180 degrees and just bring it up like that for now. Same with the other side. Pull that forward, extend this up, slide, fold, down against the back of his arm. This is just going to stay open like this. We're going to open that, rotate, move that up. We're going to leave this like so. Actually, no, while we're here, let's do this. Let's bring in this elbow all the way. This is going to be the final position of that elbow joint, but we're not ready to start closing things up yet. Come on, fold. The joints are actually nicely firm on this. I like it. So now we're going to go to this backpack. We're going to pull on this. You'll notice that there's a slider right here. We're going to yank that out. There are a couple pegs here. These pegs in here. There's holes that go in the front of this. When you put that in, you kind of thread it onto those holes, and that's how it all pegs in. By the way, when you're getting this guy transformed into his robot mode, this cannon can go on either side just as well. but I think this is more distinctive on this side. So we got this going. Get this part extended out. Now we're going to take and we're going to disconnect his shoulders here. We're just going to grab this shoulder and pull on it. Give it a little wiggle and it'll disconnect. There's a couple pegs here. Come on, little wiggle. There we go. There's a peg here and there's a peg down there. And that's going to go into just a little recess in there. And then this peg goes into an actual like slot there. I don't know why, but it seems like my lights aren't as bright today. And then we're going to do the same with the other side. Just disconnect, give it a little wiggle. Come on, little wiggle. Let me get a different piece of leverage on it. Yeah, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Now we're just going to take this, bring this forward. That's going to be the whole wheel and head assembly, and that's going to disconnect from here. You kind of have to pull this hinge over the sides of the front chest, the chest hood section. It feels like it could possibly be an issue, but I haven't seen any problem thus far. By the way, there are these little tabs here that there's like the little recesses for them in here. They move and they're their own little things in here. I have no clue what they do. None whatsoever. If anybody knows what these things do, or if they're supposed to be like a reference to something, or I don't know. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to take this here. We're going to rotate this part. And then we're going to take his head here. We're going to rotate it so he's facing forward again. Push it all the way back. It'll click, click, like that. And then we're going to take and open up his head. And there's a panel, by the way. When you open the top of his head, there's a panel in the back of his head that will automatically open up. Yeah. There we go. Putting weight on my tripod. Jeez. Alright. This is coming along quite nicely. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these chest sections. We're going to pull them apart. They're on these sliders here. Now we've got these pulled apart. We're going to start to fold this up here. These arms are going to go on their sliders all the way down. And now let's get this gun going. We're going to take and we're going to separate the halves of the barrel. And then we're going to take and fold this all the way down so that everything's kind of in line with each other. This part is going to fold back, and then it's all going to tuck right in the spot here. Like so. Alrighty, now we're cooking with gas. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to take these, there's pegs right here on the side of these sections here, and there's slots right in the side of this black spinal column. We're going to plug those into there. Make sure that's still folded out. And then you'll see that there are tabs right here on the side of his body. We're going to pull on this, so it's going to bring that down. And these tabs are going to locate into these slots on the inside. Let me get that in the inside of his arm. Fold into there. Cha-chink, cha-chink. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that quite yet because this part needs to come down. If you put those in first, you're going to have to try and get this window past the doors and let's not do that. So let's fold this part down first. And then put these tabs in to position more or less. We're going to take and we're going to connect this tab here like that, and on this side too. Oh, come on. Slide this back down. We're going to squeeze this hood past those, and it's just going to tab together up there like so. And now we're going to take the head, we're going to bring it up. It's there's a little hinge system in here. What we want to do is we want to take these pegs right here, and we want to plug them into these holes right here. So we're just going to go like that. Something doesn't feel right. Do I have the head backwards? I may have the head backwards. I possibly would have the head backwards. Let's fold this back up. See if I did it backwards. No, I had it right. I had the head slid back. It needed to be slid forward. I'm bad. My bad. All right, get that in here. Get those plugged in. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're going to take these tires. They fold out. They've got a little hinge here and a little hinge here. We're going to pull them out. There's a peg here that's going to fit into a tab here. So rotate that around, plug that in, rotate that around, plug that in. There's the front of them all done. By the way, in case you wanted your SIDESWIIPE gear walk mode, there's the gear walk mode right there. It's actually got a pretty decent A stance as well. Maybe a little front heavy, but you know, angle the toes just fine. And yeah, gear walk mode, guys. All right, so it's a Macross thing, guys. Sorry. Anyhow, for the legs, what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect this. Whoa, let's bring his leg down so we can see this one. We're going to disconnect this peg out of this tab just by pulling on that. And that's going to help get this all separated out. We're going to, there's a hinge up in here. We're going to pull this up on that hinge, extended this piece out. Now we're going to fold the toe up. This toe, by the way, collapses a little bit, gives us some extra clearance. Fold this panel in. This foot here is going to, the heel spur is going to fold all the way around. The toe, actually, no, before I get this, we're going to rotate this foot all the way around. Now, the heel spur is going to face forward, the toe is going to fold up. We've got this at an angle here so that this panel can fold past it. We're going to straighten it back up and bring that panel up to match. Now we can take this panel down. You'll see there's a slot right here. There's a tab right here. Peg that together. And do the same with the other leg. We're going to do this a little quicker because I showed you on the last one. Pull that panel. Lift this section here. Collapse the toe. Bring it all the way around. Collapse this panel. Toe. Heel. Pivot. Pull. Unpivot. Bam. Peg that in. I forgot a step. I always love it when I forget a step. Lift that, then peg it in. Yay! Now there's a tab right in here. You can see that red piece sticking out of the black there. We're just going to unpeg that. Unpeg that. comes around on this double hinge. Make sure these doors get opened again, by the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them in. This will be a little bit easier if we pull on this just a little bit. We're going to bring this in and bring this in. You'll see there's a tab, and a tab. We're going to tab all this together. There's a tab here that connects into the door frame, and then there's two tabs on the back of this section here that they're going to fit in the slots there. And then once that's done, we're going to take and close these doors back up, slide the sides of the spoiler together, and there, my friends, is vehicle mode. Bam! And yeah, he looks good. I mean, he looks like a Lamborghini Countach, which is, strangely enough, exactly what he is. In terms of size, I haven't transformed the other guys, by the way. But he is, I've got this guy here in his vehicle mode. He's the same size. He's the same size as the other Masterpiece cars. Everything's all straight up the same. Whoops. By the way, I did just forget that I forgot to mention one accessory. He does come with a jetpack. There's a jetpack. I feel really bad now because I didn't get him added on. Anyhow, it just fits on the back. We'll just go like this. It's basically the same thing, right? It's close enough. Jetpack fits on the back just like that, more or less. But then it also fits on the back of the MP10. What you got to do for this is you got to take his gun out, and then you fold this peg up for MP10, and that folds in, that slides into this gap left on him. And now he's jetpacked up, so you can replicate the third episode of Transformers G1 and then never see it ever again. I wanted to make a real quick addendum just to show, because I figured if I had to go back anyhow, because my camera cut out partway through, if I had to stitch the videos together anyhow, I might as well go back and show this. So if you extend out this peg here and it just clamps on like so, there's no like tabs or whatnot that it pegs into. It just holds on through brute force and a little bit of luck, a little energy on and a lot of luck. So there he is with his things, and these little winglet things do flap a little bit. But yeah, there's that. Also, by the way, I totally lied. There is totally double joint here, and he gets a nice degree of articulation. Anyhow, sorry for that. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Anyhow, gosh, man, I feel really bad. I was kind of looking forward to that. Some of the things that's nice about this mode, he's got his doors open, much like the Lamborghini Countach doors do. His headlights open. And the best way to do this, by the way, is to take these tires and pull them out of these tabs. Then you can just kind of, you see this assembly in here, you can just push on that part right there. That goes out. Push on that. And he has an opening bonnet, a little cargo space here. There's no actual like space in there. But yeah, so he's got some car features. These are the same features that Sunstreaker has got. so you can have them card up together, I guess. I don't know. It's fun that they're there. I like that they don't hinder the basic functions of the toy whatsoever. It's a nice little add-on. But I think that this figure is great. The vehicle mode looks great. The robot mode looks great. The transformation is complex enough to be fun, but intuitive enough to not be a chore. And I highly recommend this. If you if you are collecting a masterpiece shelf, sell this one and get that one. Like, I mean, I have a number of my reviews where I ended them up by saying, oh, well, you know, if you don't have one yet, get this version because it's great. But if you do have one, I don't know, like my the Fans Toys versus Toy World RCs was like that, where I was like, hey, if you already have a Toy World RC, maybe it's not worth upgrading. But if you don't have one, definitely go for it. No, this is definitely worth upgrading. Like, I recommend selling the Takara one and getting this one. It looks nice. I think it looks nicer, and it's just a beautiful piece of work. But anyhow, thank you everyone for watching. I'm gonna see you guys later. You're all great, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you later. Bye. Another quick little addendum: the vehicle mode does have weapon storage. If you take this and fold that up like that, and fold this around like that, then there's a little rectangular hole deep inside his crotch. You really can't see, but it's there. And you just plug this tab into that hole, and bam. Vehicle mode storage.